Hi, I'm Deb Slater.
And I'm Ken Opplinger, President and CEO of the Bellingham Whatcom Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and welcome to our coverage of the 2012 Ski to Sea Grand Parade. Deb, I know you're very familiar with this parade. You've seen it once or twice before, right?
Once or twice, Ken. Yeah, being a native of Whatcom County, growing up in Linden, it was always the highlight of the year, for sure. Yeah.
And I know that as we're sort of taking a look at this, there's lots of things we're going to see in the parade today. We've got over 100 different entries. We've got lots of bands, floats, marching groups. I think my favorite is we have 2 different umbrella drill teams in the parade.
I know. Luckily, we don't need to use the umbrellas today. So
absolutely.
They will be dancing with the umbrellas. Now, I understand this is the 92nd annual parade, is that correct?
It is. You know, I think if you've been around the community for a while, you know that it used to be the Blossom Parade. Before that, when it first started out, it's had several different names, but we renamed it about 15 years ago to the Ski to Sea Grand Parade in honor of the wonderful event that we have coming up tomorrow. But the parade itself is a way for the whole community to be involved, and I'm sure you're going to stay tuned as we watch this 2012 Ski to Sea Grand Parade. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the 92nd annual Ski to Sea Grand Parade. We're here on Cornwall Avenue across from Bellingham High School as the parade kicks off, and there's our Bellingham police officers getting things started.
I think parades traditionally start with law enforcement, right?
I think you're right. Of course, I certainly like looking at them from this angle rather than in my rearview mirror.
That's right.
And this crowd, boy, I'll tell you, when we got out at 7:30 this morning to get the parade set up, this crowd was already lining up.
Well, people are just thirsty for that sunshine to begin with. And what better way to usher in summer than this weekend in Bellingham and Whatcom County?
Well, you know, I'll tell you, it's funny because in years past when the weather isn't so nice, we'll be out putting the stakes in at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and no one is out yet. This morning, we already had people lining up at this point.
Wow.
So.
And Ken, when you say we, of course, those are people from your organization.
That's right, the Bellingham Whatcom Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and we're very proud to put this event on every year. As you can see, this is the combined color guard for the city of Bellingham and for Whatcom County. The 2 officers in the middle are city of Bellingham police officers holding the flags, and they're joined by folks from Whatcom County in this joint color guard that does lots of different things around the community now. And this is Baker the Goat. Baker is the mascot for the Ski to Sea Parade, and we put him right there in the front of the parade every year. He's riding in a truck that was donated by our good friends from Deal Ford.
Why a goat?
Well, I think it has to do with the mountain. It's the whole, the mountain goat and how we have the race the next day. So,
behind the goat, Miss Whatcom County 2012, Kimball Gaynor. She was recently crowned just this March. She's a graduate of Bellingham High School, which is the school right behind her, you can see. She was the president of her associated student body her senior year.
So a politician and a beauty queen all at the same time.
That's right.
And I believe that she's actually with the runner-up, Erica, and they're in a vehicle that was provided by our own Chrysler dealership here in town, and we're proud that they're joining us for the parade as well. And behind them is our Grand Marshal. Our Grand Marshal is not just one person, it's an entire family. The Herman family, who owns the Woods Coffee locations around Whatcom County.
Yeah, there's a few of those, aren't there?
A few of those, one or two. And they're all in the back of the wagon there, and that's actually a U.S. Bank wagon that's provided by our title sponsor for the parade this year, U.S. Bank.
Woods Coffee opened 10 years ago in 2002. I interviewed Wes once, and he said, I had all my kids were in high school, and they were spending hundreds of dollars a month on coffee. And I thought, there's a way I should cash in on this. And hence, Woods Coffee was born.
And boy, has he cashed in on it. What a wonderful business the Herman family has built.
That's right. Our Grand Parade title sponsor, U.S. Bank.
Absolutely, one of our first floats of the parade, and we're very pleased that they put together such a great float for everyone to get started with here. Lots of folks walking along with this as well. I'd
like a piggy bank that big. I'd like it full.
I was going to say, as long as it's full. I get the impression that one's probably got some hot air in it. So,
our first marching band of many in the parade today.
That's right, the Marysville Pilchuck Marching Band, who join us every year. It's one of the bands that travels the farthest to come and join us. This is a 4A band, and they are actually the winners of our 4A band award. It's a wonderful band. They actually bring 2 full busloads of folks every year when they come,
wow.
And they're always one of our top award winners. We're very pleased they like to join us for what it really is one of the best Memorial Day parades anywhere in Washington State.
That's right. The work that must go into choreographing a marching band is just amazing to me.
Well, and it's the choreography and making sure you're marching in time, but it's also those uniforms.
Yeah.
The city of Marysville, the Tulalip tribe, and a lot of other organizations contributed over $48,000 this year to replace those uniforms. These are brand new, the first time that they've worn them here in this parade.
Little mirror accessories on their chest.
Yeah, between those and the plumes out of the helmets, those are some pretty impressive uniforms they have there.
Built-in air conditioning? No.
Well, either a feather duster, I'm not sure which. As you can see, the band stopped there at the reviewing stand so we could all get a good look at them and hear the wonderful music they're playing. And as Marysville Pilchuck heads out, you'll see our next entry is Alaska Airlines, another great sponsor of the parade. We're very pleased that they continue to promote some of the wonderful community activities that we have here, especially with the substantial presence they have in our community now out at our airport.
What we need to thank them for, Ken, is that nonstop to Hawaii.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Except I don't think that the plane in the back of the pickup truck is the one they do that in.
No, let's hope not. No. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, they've got the hula with the plane directing batons there. I wonder what the name of those are.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Plane directing batons.
I think we'll go with that.
This is a fairly large entry. They also have this old VW microbus here.
Where they are going with they know what we like, don't
Absolutely.
they? Going with the Hawaii theme.
And then I believe that that's followed by one of the luggage tractors, along with the or tugs, I believe they call them, the luggage tugs, along with the trailer. Except I think this one is full of things other than just luggage. It appears they have a surfboard in there as well. What if they drove that all the way over from the airport? Is that street legal?
I don't know. That's a good question. Here is the Pink Lady from Sanitary Service Company. I've seen this around town. Kind of their salute to Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Absolutely. I believe they've actually run this up in Blaine. I think I've seen it in the morning when they come to pick up my trash every so often as well.
It is one of a kind.
That it is. Certainly the color is one of a kind.
That's for sure.
Oh, and they're showing us how they pick up there. That's good.
You're watching the 2012 92nd Annual Ski to Sea Grand Parade, Whatcom Blossoms. My name's Deb Slater, and I'm here with
Ken Opplinger from the Bellingham Walk-In Chamber, and we're very pleased to be bringing you this great parade, and pleased to bring you our next entry, which is an award winner. This is our Silver Reef entry from Silver Reef Hotel Casino Spa, and this is our Chamber of Commerce Award winner for Best Business Commercial Float. A lot of time and effort put into that. Look at that.
Now, why did those dice say 7? 7's not good.
7's not a good number. That's right.
Not good. I've thrown down some money on the craps table.
There you go. Well, I think it's the float for them, and since the house wins at that point, then yeah.
That's a great place to go. The steak restaurant
that they have at the steakhouse. Yeah, absolutely.
So good, you even want to take the butter home.
Well, thanks to Silver Reef, and congratulations on their entry. And you see those cars coming down, but before that you see some folks running around in bikes here. That's actually our new county executive, Jack Lowes, and his wife, who are riding their bikes through the parade this year.
Oh, that's great. Hi, Cindy.
And Jack's sign says, "I'm the county executive." Cindy's says, "I'm the boss."
He's a smart man.
And following right behind Jack, of course, is the mayor of Bellingham, Kelly Linville. She's in vehicles that are provided by our friend Jerry Jetterholm, who brings some outstanding vehicles to the parade every year.
Amazing that those cars are still there.
Jerry puts a lot of time and effort into these. Boy, Kelly looks like she's having a good time, too.
Who wouldn't? It's a parade.
Well, and it's such a gorgeous day, too.
Oh. How many entries this year, Ken?
We had over 100 entries. I think it was up near 115 entries. And one of them, of course, is our 2 representatives from the 42nd District, Vincent Byes and Jason Overstreet. And they're in the parade this year in a vehicle provided by Roger Jobs. Looks like Jason's got one of his kids in there with him, too. I think the police officers are blowing their sirens, telling him he has to move through there. Now, at this point, we actually have all of the police departments in Whatcom County represented, along with the sheriff's office and our state patrol, and from the Lummi Nation, the police department out there. So they each bring vehicles in this. Oftentimes, it's the chief of those departments that rides in, but we're very pleased that they've all come to join us for this 2012 Grand Parade.
When do you start planning for the next year's parade, Ken?
Well, generally what will happen is that we'll start putting the information for people to sign up for the parade out in late winter, just we're getting into spring. The bulk of the work for the parade, aside from getting the permits and all those things you have to do, really happens a couple weeks out. And the most important part of the whole parade is staging, trying to figure out who you put where. And there's lots of politics involved because some people don't like being at the end, and you just have to know where to put folks and who they can be next to and who they. It's sort of like seating for a wedding. It's very similar to that.
Okay, sure, yeah. And how many people do you have volunteer? I would imagine that there's hundreds of people that help on the parade day.
Yeah, we've got out along the entire course, we have about 150 people, and that includes the folks who hold the banners as they march through, all the folks back up at Alabama where the parade starts who are helping with staging. But even as we prepare for it, we've got a committee of about a dozen people that helps with a lot of the work that goes on during the parade. Our friends at the City of Sumas. And I believe that's our entry from the state police there. And behind them, I have to say, is probably my favorite band. And it's probably not politically correct to say because we generally should be talking about, I'm from Blaine, so maybe it should be the Blaine. But this is our Bellingham Firefighters pipe and drums. And boy, they are just outstanding, and we're very pleased that they joined us for the parade this year. I feel like I'm in Edinburgh watching the tattoo.
Right.
They're not a huge group, but boy, they're just outstanding, and we really appreciate them joining us every year for the parade.
With an antique fire truck following.
Absolutely. City of Bellingham has several different fire engines. This is, of course, their beautiful antique engine, Engine 4. But the best fire truck of all of them in the parade this year is coming up next, and that's the Ladder 6 truck. And, of course, they really, they get these things nice and clean for the parade. But I have a sneaking suspicion one of the reasons that this was the best fire truck is that, I'll give you a little secret here.
Okay, all right.
If on parade day, before the start, you head up to the start at Alabama and Cornwall, Ladder 6 generally has actually put their stanchions out, and they'll lift the ladder up, and they'll give people rides up in the ladder. So my guess is that one of the judges probably got a ride in the ladder, and that put it over the top for them.
Well, while you're talking about judges, how do those decisions get made with entrance?
We actually have volunteers who do all the judging, and no one that's associated directly with the chamber. These are all folks in the community who we've gone out and recruited to go out and do this judging. And they'll judge different categories. You'll see as we go through the parade, we have everything like this for Best Fire Truck, all the way to some of the band awards that are given. We even have an award for the most enthusiastic group. So there's lots of different things, and there's probably about 25, 30 people who are out judging before we get the parade started.
Oh, that's fun.
And next is our Best Green Award winner, and this is from the Whatcom County Marine Corps League. It's actually sponsored by our friends at Johnson's Towing. That's one of their trucks that they're using there, but it's a reenactment of raising the flag on Iwo Jima.
That's pretty great. Crowd participation is always a good element to have.
Absolutely. There it is. You know, this is the Ski to Sea Grand Parade, but obviously the 3-day weekend is because of Memorial Day, and it's great that we have several different entries that are honoring the troops here in the parade this year. The Marines, of course, are also responsible for the Toys for Tots program, both here and really across the country. And so you've got the Toys for Tots banner there, and in the vehicle behind, I believe, there's a special guest.
Who is it? Who is it?
Ho, ho, ho.
I think I see.
It's Christmas in May. Now, I did ask Santa if he brought his summer clothes, and he said, you know, normally when I come to Bellingham, I don't have to worry about it. I should have done that today. So he was a little warm in his outfit this year. And as we wrap up with the Marine recruiting vehicle there, next up we have our friends from the Coast Guard Auxiliary. And originally when they put this entry in, they talked about bringing one of their boats in their patrol along, and it looks like they've actually got all three of them. These are all, of course, boats from right here in Whatcom County. I'm sure if you've been out on the water, you've seen these folks helping out with our Coast Guard work.
Just be safe on the water.
Absolutely. And of course, not all of the Coast Guard auxiliary boats are powered by gasoline. Some are powered by humans.
Make sure you wear your mask.
Once again, you're watching the 2012 92nd Annual Ski to Sea Grand Parade. Gorgeous day today. A lot of people out enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the community that the parade creates, enjoying a 3-day weekend.
Absolutely. Now, next up, you see, Deb, you're from Linden.
Yes.
I live up in Blaine, so we get to deal with these folks all the time. These are our friends from two different branches of our federal government. We've got both our Customs and Border Protection as well as our Border Patrol. We refer to them as the blue shirts and the green shirts.
Yes, I was only until recently that I knew the difference between the blue shirts and the green shirts. Why don't you give us a little 101 on that?
Well, sure. So you essentially, when you drive up to the border to cross into Canada, you talk with the folks who wear the blue shirts.
Right.
And if you're driving around and you see folks with the Border Patrol written on the side of the car, they're essentially the Border Police, if you will. That's the green shirts. And as you see coming along here, you have lots of different equipment that are used by the folks in Customs Border Protection and by the Border Patrol. And there's some snowmobiles that, luckily, not in use this time of year.
Right.
I think the only piece of equipment that they use around my house on a regular basis that's not in the parade is the helicopter.
Helicopter, yeah. And the helicopter would be the green shirts.
That's right. Very good. Absolutely. There's one of the boats that they use to patrol the border.
Our first four-legged friend of the parade.
Absolutely.
Here. And on the four-legged friend is our new rodeo queen, the Linden Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association rodeo queen, Shanley Dillard.
boy, she's got that horse all dressed up. There's got flowers, got pink socks on. Absolutely.
Sparkles. Don't forget the sparkles.
Lots of sparkles.
Shanley graduated from Mount Baker High School. She's 20 years old.
And of course, the Linden Rodeo is coming up August 24th and 25th. And if you're interested in attending the rodeo or finding out more about it, you can check out their website at lindenrodeo.com. And of course, our queen is followed by our Rodeo Cowgirls drill team, which has also won the award this year for the best equestrian group.
And they will also be at the Linden Rodeo towards the end of August, August 24th and 25th. lindenrodeo.com.
If you notice, they've even got the horses painted here. They have sparkles painted on the horses. As you pass, you'll see on the rear quarter there.
I wonder if the horses mind. Kind of bejeweled horses. I'm sure they love it.
I'm sure. And you'll notice that as we ask all of our equestrian entries to do, that they do have people who come along and clean up after our four-legged friends as they pass by.
They're just picking it up.
Never let it be said that we don't completely clean up after ourselves at the Ski to Ski Grand Parade.
Well, that could get really ugly with the roller betties. Right? The Bellingham roller betties. This 2012 was their 5th season already.
That's right. Breaking hearts and body parts.
Yeah, I love it.
And they are in the parade every year, and we're very pleased that they come and join us.
Those bouts are a lot of fun. I've been on the rink. I've been on 8 wheels with those girls.
Have
and
you?
It's kind of scary.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Are you a roller Betty wannabe, Deb?
Oh, no. No. For the sake of the roller betties, I will refrain from wanting to be part of that. Award-winning Ferndale High School Marching Band is next, consistently ranking in the top 10 of the national competitions that they participate in.
This is our 3A band first place winner in the parade this year, as well as their drill team has won 2nd place. And that's what we're looking at now is the drill team. Well, I guess we've transitioned. Brews, brats, and bases. What could be better than that?
Hey, that's my kind of day.
This is the Live Life Today Relay for Life entry. They want to walk in the parade this year to bring awareness to their fundraising events.
Well, if it has to do with brews,
Brats,
I'm there. I'll help raise funds.
I like it. And they're followed by the Knights of Columbus. This is a float. Well, first of all, you have this great honor guard here in those wonderful costumes. But behind that, they have a float pulled by a tractor. And this was not one of the award winners, but I think this is a pretty great little float that they have here. And it certainly does directly go towards what our theme this is for the parade this year, Whatcom Blossoms. I think the only bad part about it is I don't think any of us want to see a smoking Mount Baker. That might not be...
Right. The Knights of Columbus, of course, are a fraternal benefit society with the founding principles of charity, unity, and fraternity. That is a great, great float.
Isn't that, though?
Yeah.
Well, here comes our best equestrian novelty entry, and I'm not sure that this is fit for all audiences, but this is our Fairhaven Ladies of the Evening entry.
The Fairhaven Ladies of the Evening, they carry on the legacy of the confident, flirty Fairhaven businesswoman. Now they flirt, they flaunt, but Ken, they are never, ever lewd.
The next up is our Rocket Donuts entry in their 1957 convertible Chevy.
That fits the whole sci-fi 50s motif of the place, right?
It certainly does.
And I will take a bacon maple bar. Have you had one of those?
I have.
Oh, man.
Two things that I'm not supposed to have, bacon or maple, but they certainly
alone
taste
the
good
butter.
together. Exactly.
Yeah. Sons of Norway with their Viking ship. Now I have to throw in a little plug here for their pancake breakfast.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you ever been there?
I have.
Oh, every fourth Saturday on their hall on Forest Street. The best deal in town, all you can eat, Swedish pancakes. Now they're closed in July and August, but they'll be back in September.
Put that on your agenda for September.
That's
once
right.
They get back going again.
Sons of Norway. Oh, jazzercise.
And I'll tell you, this is a double award winner as well. This is not only our best walking group, but they also got first place for dance groups, which really was set up for our bands, but they were so good we gave them the award. So.
Oh. Did you know jazzercise started in 1969?
I had no idea.
Just a random piece of trivia that I know. Oh, look it.
And look, they got people coming out of the crowd to jazzercise with them.
It's a flash mob jazzercise. Oh, that's great.
I'll tell you, I don't think that they need to go to their regular class today, though. It looks like they're definitely getting their workout as they jazzercise all the way down Cornwall Avenue.
Now, if I were them, I'd be heading to Rocket Donuts after.
I think they've earned it.
That's right.
Now, of course, as we come up to this next election season, we have several different things that are on the ballot. This is one of the local races that I think some people don't really know that we vote for, but this is a Superior Court judge race. We actually have 3 candidates in the race, and this is the entry for Deborah Garrett. Lots of folks walking along with signs in support of her, as well as that great convertible Mustang that's carrying her there. Something I didn't know, apparently, if Deborah is elected, and I know that she's not the only woman in the race, but if she's elected, she'll be the first female Superior Court judge in Whatcom County.
Wow. Dr. Jimmy's marching band.
A community-based grassroots marching band.
Nice polka dots.
They certainly have the most colorful uniforms of any of our bands today.
These guys make an appearance every year.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, that is an interesting pair of pants he has, isn't it? Here's our best Memorial Day themed float from our friends at Fur Creek Day Camp.
Oh.
Their float every year showcases the great activities that they have out at Fur Creek. Lots of summer activities for kids.
There are a lot of reasons I want to be a kid again, but one of the main reasons is the camps at Furwood.
Oh, there you go.
They are so much fun. Look at that. And I still remember some of the camp leaders I had as a kid going there. A lot of fun.
This is the Bellingham Eagles. Post number 31. They list their purpose of people helping people, starting at a very young age, and you can see lots of kids in the back there. I believe actually in the back of the truck they have the Washington Youth King and Queen for the Eagles. They're followed by the van for the Bellingham Whatcom Tourism. We, of course, have lots and lots of vehicles in the parade, and following the Bellingham Whatcom County Tourism van is Pearson Construction's beautiful vehicle there. It's a 1927 Chevy truck that they brought. That's not the Chevy truck, that's the steeple for the Catholic Church, and walking by it now, I should probably disclose my bias here.
Yeah.
This is the Blaine High School Borderites Marching Band.
It's getting crowded in here. They look very handsome today.
Blaine High School, of course, the winner of our Single A Band First Place Trophy for the 2012 Grand Parade.
What exactly is a borderite?
You are not the first one who has asked me that. And yet again, I still can't answer that question. No one's been able to tell me either. I think it's because we can't really have the P-Sarge as a mascot.
True,
so.
yeah, that P-Sarge personified wouldn't really work too well.
No, that's true. Next up is our friends from the Appliance Depot. Now, if you have appliances that you're no longer using or may not be functioning, this is the place to donate to. They have a great nonprofit that refurbishes appliances and provides them back out to those in need in the community. A wonderful, wonderful project to have here in the community, and they've got their Derby vehicles out there.
Once again, you're watching the 2012 Ski to Sea Grand Parade.
Lots and lots more entries yet to come, as you can see.
Where does it actually start?
It starts up at the top of Cornwall there at Cornwall in Alabama.
Okay.
And we've got folks for about a 25 square block area sort of interspersed out there, and we just point at them and send them down when their time comes. And the time that's come next is the Laurel Farm Supply entry.
With their Shetland ponies.
That's right. We always stage all of the equestrian entries together.
That's probably smart.
They tend to help each other out in the cleanup part.
Laurel Farm and Western Supply is locally and family owned.
And they are followed by our best antique truck. Now, that's not the vehicle on the right, it's the vehicle on the left. Our good friends from Lewis Auto Glass, last year's Grand Marshal, and this year with their vehicle in the parade and winning our Best Antique Vehicle Award. That is, of course, their 1928 Ford Model A. And it was not the same vehicle, but the same model used by the founder, Louis Adelstein, back in 1929. And they're followed by the 1929, wow. Yeah. They're followed by the Final Touch Auto Spa entry. And there. Beautiful vehicle all decked out there.
I like the idea of the auto spa.
Well, you know, if we get to go to spas, our cars get to go to spas too, right?
That's right, right.
I wonder if it's about the same price as the People Spa. And, of course, the final part of their entry is their race car there for Lewis Auto Glass. Lots and lots of great entries from them. And next is another wonderful business here, the Bakerview Nursery Bug. That's their 1969 Ladybug, which won the Best Decorated Car Award this year.
Bakerview Nursery celebrating their 40th anniversary. Yeah.
They are, and it's not just the Ladybug. They've got a wonderful float that they've put together there with lots of great plants. I'm assuming they probably get a pretty good deal on the plants they put on their float there.
Yeah.
That's a 1957 720 John Deere tractor in mint condition.
And again, appropriate with the theme of the
Whatcom
parade.
Blossoms, absolutely. Sort of a hearkening back to when this was the Blossom Time Parade.
That's right, yeah.
Now, like we said at the top, we have two different umbrella drill teams. This is the first of them. This is from the Assistance League. And if you've been downtown, you know that the Assistance League has a wonderful store here in downtown Bellingham. And these are some of the volunteers that work at the store and help to provide affordable clothing to lots of folks here in the community.
They also have that Operation School Bell that outfits a lot of children.
And I think they actually have some kids here marching in the parade that are wearing clothes provided by the program.
Yeah. There it is.
We had our Miss Whatcom County earlier. We had our Linden Parade Queen. Now we have our Whatcom County Dairy Ambassadors.
I always think of the Moo Witch when I think of anything Whatcom County Dairy. You know, that's their big thing at the fair.
Absolutely, the Moo Witch, that's right.
The Whatcom County Dairy Women. And of course, the ambassadors are part of that whole program.
Well, we certainly appreciate them coming and joining us in the parade again this year.
Well, this is something I did not know. But the Bellingham High School girls golf team, 10-time state champions.
That's right. The Red Raiders golf team has become a powerhouse here in the state.
Represent.
That's right. And of course, they're riding on equipment that's provided by the South Whatcom Fire Authority. Most of the fire districts here in Whatcom County participate in the parade, and it was great that they were able to partner with the golf team to be in the parade this year. We have several car clubs that have joined us for the parade this year, and this is the first of those car clubs who've won our Best Car Club Award.
And what is it?
The Best Car Club Award? It's an award we give to a car club.
But what car club is it? What car club is it? I see all kinds of things. I see a, was it a Mustang? I see a, looks like a Chevy truck. I see a, let's see.
This is the Fourth Corner Elites Car Club. They
Elites.
have lots and lots of different kinds of vehicles, all in showroom condition. This club actually raises funds for the Project Santa Claus, which is sponsored by the Whatcom County Sheriff's Department. And they do 4 different shows a year where they go to raise those funds to help out with the great work that the Project Santa Claus does. They also provide a scholarship for 1 student every year that attends Bellingham Technical College in the automotive field.
Oh, that's great.
Helping to sponsor the folks who will work on their cars in the future. Their next show is going to be August 24th through the 26th at Deming Log Show grounds, and it is open to the public. I'm sure they'd love to have you out to take a look at all of these vehicles, plus many, many more that are in the club.
Here come the Trojans, the Meridian High School Marching Band.
And as they come up, you want to keep a very close eye. They've got 2 awards. The first one, though, is that they have the best drum major. And, of course, the second award is that they came in 2nd place in our Single A band contest. Here's those award-winning drum majors there. We're always very pleased to have lots of great commercial entries. This one from our friends at Port of Subs. They have their van that's all decked out there with pictures of all of the great products you can get at Port of Subs.
They're celebrating 40 years. And they're giving away a classic car.
And there it is.
They're giving that away, yeah.
Such a deal. A 1972 Chevy Chevelle Super Sport.
Oh, the Jingle Bell Run. Have you ever run in it?
I have.
Or walked?
Our friends at the Arthritis Foundation are out in force to promote that. And there's some costumes there that look like they might be a little warm today.
But not in December.
Not in December, that's right.
I love the sound of all the jingle bells as downtown Bellingham as people make their way through the run.
And Santa, of course, has come up from the front of the parade when he was on the Toys for Tots float and jumped into this convertible and is now driving through the parade.
He's amazing, isn't he?
He is. I'm impressed.
Mrs. Claus joining him for this part of the parade.
She probably drove the convertible down to pick him up so that he could, yeah.
Right. Another award. The best themed walking group.
That's right. Our best themed walking group is the Chinese community entry.
I love seeing more and more multicultural organizations organize, especially in our little corner of the world. And this is just one example. They recently had their their Chinese Culture Festival spring concert at the Mount Baker Theater. We'll be seeing more from them in our community, hopefully.
Absolutely. As you can see, the Bellingham Chinese community has pretty sizable entry here, and I love the costumes and the ribbons, and it just is, it's a beautiful entry, and we're very pleased they joined us again this year.
And following them, we have another award winner.
And boy, this is a big one. This is our Nile Shriners group, and they're always part of the parade. We're always very pleased to have them with us. This year they've won the John C. Burley Award, which is given to the best military or fraternal entry.
I love the Shriners. I've always wanted to be one.
Really?
I don't think they'll take me, but as a kid, they're always at the parades, and they always have these great entries, and there's always, they're doing so much for the community, and there's always the guy with the jewel in his belly, right?
We know the Shriners now have 22 hospitals for children that they are raising money for and helping all the time. Here in the U.S., in Canada, in Mexico, in Panama, they really are a very, very important organization for kids in need across not just the U.S., but across many countries here in North America.
Have fun with us.
Some of those beards look real.
Yeah. Some of those bellies look real, too.
And of course, this also is a demonstration of the fact that we have great ties over the border. And we're very pleased that we have friends from Canada that come and participate in our Ski to Sea Grand Parade. Now we're still with the Niles Shriner entry here. And this is the scooter drill team.
Love it. The precision.
Now, can you name the flags of the 4 countries that are on the scooters there?
Well, there's obviously United States.
Actually, 5. What they've done here, this is interesting. So they have the American flag, the Canadian flag. They have the flag for British Columbia. They have the flag of Mexico and the flag of Panama.
All of the countries that...
Plus our friends in British Columbia. So lots of folks represented there. That's a great shot of those scooters coming by there.
Well, these guys must be busy because they are in every parade. And I mean, I'm not saying it's the same guys, obviously. but I just wonder, wonder who did. Oh, yeah, there we go, the park ranger. God bless the Shriners.
Now we're still with the Shriners entry here. As you can see, it's a small entry. They don't have too many people involved.
I was just thinking, though, had it not been for their parade presence through the years, I probably wouldn't know
anything about them,
anything about the Shriners. Smile with Nile.
The Niles Shriners are actually located in Mount Lake Terrace, but they've got subordinate clubs all over through Western Washington and up into British Columbia, and that's why you see the presence from both countries here, from the U.S. and from Canada.
And again, you said how many hospitals?
They have 22 hospitals now that they help fund, so... And there's the pipe organ that rounds out their entry. Now next is our minor league football team, the Bellingham Bulldogs.
This organization based on integrity, honor, discipline, strength of character, and sense of community.
Now, I would certainly draw your attention to the football team. That's their primary entry, but the cheerleaders here at the beginning are an award winner themselves. The cheerleaders took second place in our cheer awards. Again, awards that were set up for the high schools, but the cheerleaders did such a great job in their performance that they took second place for the cheer team.
Way to go, cheerleaders. For info on their games, you can go to bellinghambulldogs.org.
Now, I mentioned earlier that we do have elections coming up, and here's another entry of someone running. This is also for the Superior Court seat that's open, Carrie Coppinger-Carter. A very similar entry with a number of people carrying signs for Miss Coppinger-Carter.
Are they old enough to vote?
Well, a couple of them look like that's a little bit of a question there.
Well, they can still campaign.
There you go,
right?
absolutely. Now, my entry sheet says that originally she was supposed to be in a black 1998 Ford Mustang, but I can guarantee you that is not a black 1998 Ford Mustang.
Ken, I don't know cars, and even I know that's not a Mustang.
If I am not mistaken, that appears to be a Ford Galaxy, but I'm sure I'm wrong, and someone will call to tell me that.
Your guess is
But
better
a
than mine.
beautiful car it is.
Whatcom P-Flag and Bellingham Pride.
This is our local P-Flag chapter here in Bellingham. Of course, that's the parents, families, and friends of lesbians and gays. They started this group in 1993. It's now the second largest pride association in Washington State.
And of course, Pride takes place mid-July. This year, it's July 12th through the 15th. For more information, you can go to whatcompflag.org or behampride.org. There's Betty Desire. She does a lot for her cause. Puts on a great show, too. Have you seen it?
I have not have heard about it, but I have not seen it.
It's fabulous. And I believe she has multiple locations. Betty Desire, if you want to Google her, check out her weekly show.
And coming up next is the Band of Brothers for Christ. This is their Soul Bus, which is a 1974 school bus that they have.
Band of Brothers for Christ. It's a men's ministry representing over 41 Whatcom County churches. The members are men who are learning to take responsibility for leading their families spiritually and encouraging other men to take on the responsibilities of being husband and father for the family.
Find out more at bellinghambob.org. And following them is another one of our entries that has lots of great vehicles in it. This is our Mount Baker Vintage VWs car club, and they have a lot of vintage VWs.
I would love to jump in one of those and go for a road trip right now.
I think someone needs to remind them that the Westphalia tops have to be down to go on the freeway. I don't think it quite.
For more info on their club, you can go to mbvv.org. Little Carmen Gia there. Hey, look, it's a thing.
It is a thing. I actually have several things.
Yeah?
Some of them in real mint condition, like that particular one there. Some of them they have definitely retrofitted a bit.
How did she get to drive? What do you think the conversation there was?
Well, it might be her car. You never know.
Could be.
They even have a old VW dune buggy there. Wild Thing. It's a good song to play. I like it.
Very nice. And of course, Slug Bug, Beetle. What else? I mean, there's all kinds of names for these
Well,
cars.
I do, as I was walking through the area up top where we stage, I heard several kids walk by and ask if they could slug whatever sibling they were with, and the parents pretty much across the board said no.
Slug Bug.
Now this is also an award-winning entry. This is our Best Car Club Spirit entry this year. They certainly always not only bring lots of good spirit, but lots of great vehicles, and we appreciate their ongoing support of the parade. They've been in for many, many years now.
0 to 60 in 10 minutes.
This is the Firefighter Playhouse. It's from Union Local 106, and they've put that house together. You can actually win that house if you're interested. That all the money that's raised goes to Burn Children Recovery Foundation.
Again, you're watching the 2012 Ski to Sea Grand Parade. Whatcom blossoms, a beautiful day. Looking down Cornwall, we're looking north. Another award winner here, Ken.
That's right. This is our Banner Bank Draft Horse entry. They won the Best Draft Horse Hitch Award, and they're proudly displaying the award up there on the wagon. You can see we give beautiful framed copies of the awards to all of our award winners.
What is the process for entering into the parade? Is it some paperwork or?
Yeah, some minor paperwork, and of course, oftentimes if it's your first year, you might know what category you're supposed to go in, and you can call the office. We're more than happy to walk through that with you to make sure we get you in the right category. Our next entry, of course, like we said earlier, it is election season, and one of our candidates for governor, Rob McKenna, has brought a number of folks here to Bellingham to march in the parade. That's him there in the white shirt, greeting members of the crowd and saying hi. Rob, of course, is currently the Attorney General of the state of Washington. You have to say, having spent a lot of time before moving up here in California, seeing a gubernatorial candidate in a small town parade, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You never would have seen that down there.
Yeah. And another marching band, this time from Squalicum High School Band.
These are students from 9th to 12th grade, proud members of the Squalicum Storm. It is Memorial Day weekend, but it's also Ski to Sea time. And coming up next is the high school teams that have entered into the Ski to Sea race this year. This particular high school team is sponsored by Diego's Mexican Grill. We're always pleased when we have high school teams that not only come out and participate in the big race, but join us in the parade as well, and we appreciate their entry.
Making positive changes is the theme of Roosevelt Neighborhood Association's float. A lot of those neighborhood associations in Bellingham. Nice to see one in the parade this year.
Absolutely, and they had a great float there with lots of stuff that themed off our Whatcom Blossoms theme for the parade. More folks walking along in the Roosevelt neighborhood entry.
And the different events that Roosevelt neighborhood has throughout the year: the community toy store, National Night Out, Candy Walk.
Candy Walk?
Candy Walk.
I think I need to go find out what's going on in the Roosevelt neighborhood.
Yeah.
The annual Texas Street Candy Walk.
I believe that's their alternative to Halloween. I believe.
Oh, that would make sense. Okay. This is actually the next entry. This is People First of Bellingham. They've been around for about 16 years, and they're an organization for people with developmental disabilities in Whatcom County so that they have a voice here in the community.
Something tells me you're not innocent. The International Footprint Association, Keystone Cops, out of Seattle. Having a lot of fun today.
Looking for people in the audience to pull out, it looks like. Have they got anyone in the paddy wagon there?
Jaywalking? Come on.
This is our best novelty entry. It's the Dream Train. Dream Train is back for more fun and excitement this year. This is their 16th year in the parade, and it's entered in loving memory of Ken and Teresa Johnston.
And the villain. Next up, we have the Seaholm Sea Monsters Robotics Club and Argus, the basketball playing robot.
Is that the I think it is the basketball playing robot there.
I think that is. These are high school students out of Seaholm High School. They compete in competitions where they have only 6 weeks to design, build, and program these robots to compete in international competitions.
And they're followed by another one of our candidates. That's Bill Finkbeiner, who is running for Lieutenant Governor.
And here come the green and gold. Seaholm Mariners, of course, their marching band.
Also dual winners this year. They not only took second place in the 2A band competition, but you're also looking at the third place cheer team here at the 2012 Ski to Sea Grand Parade. You know, not having gone to high school here, I wonder with all the other high school marching bands marching in front of Bellingham High if there's not some rivalry there. You know?
Well, there certainly used to be. Certainly. Oh, the synchronized umbrella drill team. This is the second umbrella drill team in the parade.
That's right. This is our award-winning umbrella drill team, too.
A group of 60 women ranging in age from 14 to 70. I know some of these women personally, and they have been working on this for months.
Well, here again, here's another one of those things where we set awards up for the high school bands. This is your first place drill team award winner. They actually beat out all the other drill teams in the bands.
The group is organized by Cheryl Crooks, choreographed by Pam Kuntz. Keeping with the theme of Whatcom Blossoms with the flower-like umbrellas.
I think there's several different awards we could have given them here. Actually, I had a member of my Bellingham Bay Rotary Club that's in this group.
It is quite beautiful, isn't it? And again, we're so happy that they don't have to be using the umbrellas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was Gerald Metzger's 1925 Model T Ford that just came by, our best antique automobile winner. This red Prius with the woman with the microphone in front of it is from the Bellingham Christian Center. And she's followed by the folks from the Mount Baker Theater Repertoire Company with their advertisement for the upcoming My Fair Lady. September 26th to the 30th.
What other reason to dance? But for joy. Dancing for joy. dance company here in Bellingham. And I believe their theme is Grease Lightning.
I do hear that back there, and I see lots of women in poodle skirts.
There we go.
There's a couple of guys joining him in there as well.
A couple of Dannies.
There you go.
And not a beauty school dropout in the mix.
Well, next up is our Blossom Time Award winner for Best Nonprofit Float. Lots and lots of nonprofits enter the Ski to Sea Parade every year. This is our entry that won the award for the best nonprofit float. It is the Compass to Campus entry.
This is an inspiration float developed to encourage youth and families in our community to embrace opportunity and to develop the initiative and skills to create their future through education.
You see lots of kids out there on the float holding up signs for what their future careers might be with the great education they can get here in Whatcom County.
Jump Around Fun Zone. Another reason I want to be a kid again, Ken.
Well, I'll tell you, my daughter, I think, has just recently grown out of Jump Around Fun Zone, but we spent many, many a day there.
I guess that as long as you're 5 foot or under, they'll take you.
Absolutely.
Right? Out on the Guide Meridian. Fun time for kids.
Well, we really appreciate Jump Around Fun Zone. They're an active member of the Chamber and are involved in a lot of the different activities we do, including our Spring Business Showcase, where they come out and set up a great area for the kids to play in during the showcase.
Yeah, because kids don't really want to go to the...
Walk around looking at a bunch of business booths, yeah, not high on their list.
Now, conversely, I would love to go in the Jump Around Fun Zone.
Maybe that's what we ought to do for the Spring Business Showcase, is just have a giant adult Jump Around Fun Zone.
I go anyway to the Spring Showcase, but Spring Business Showcase, but all the more reason.
We have a couple of ballerinas here. I'm guessing they must be part of the Jump Around Fun Zone entry.
Regardless, they're beautiful to watch.
Absolutely, but I certainly think they're going to have to get a new set of ballet slippers after this walk down Cornwall Avenue. Now, we have lots and lots of awards we give away, but this is the most enthusiastic group award, and couldn't have gone to a more enthusiastic group. This is our Khalsa Punjabi School out in Linden.
Enthusiastic indeed.
They've got a drill team here as well. They're doing some amazing things with these sort of umbrella-style hoops that they're twirling here. Just really, really gorgeous.
Oh, and they're switching them out. Wow.
Look at that.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's beautiful.
they've got their truck all decorated out there as well with pictures from the school. Along with the pictures are lots of the things that are core tenets of the Sikh religion written on the side of the truck there.
The Bellingham Public Library Book Cart Drill Team. Oh, what fun is that? The Dewey Decimators. Oh, look, that one kid's reading a book while walking.
While walking, there you go.
Great.
Whoops. The book cart's dropping books. Is that the reading raccoon there? Oh, look, and the Ski to Sea team actually has their equipment with them. This is our annual tribute to fallen soldiers in the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. And we'll just pause our commentary here so that you can take a moment to see the banners from some of the folks that have fallen in these two conflicts. It was a moving tribute, and we appreciate them all being involved. Our next entry is from SHAG, which is a senior housing organization. And this is their entry in our Ski to Sea parade.
Particularly Wood Rose Apartments senior housing being represented there.
if I'm not mistaken, I believe next up is El Gitano Restaurant. And to start out here, they have their catering truck.
Yum.
But followed by their catering truck is a vehicle that's all decked out and has a wonderful band on the back there.
Where's the margarita dispenser?
Well, that vehicle looks like it might have one in it if we go ask.
Yeah,
We should find
yeah.
out.
A couple of locations they have, right? One in Sunset Square.
That's right, yeah,
I believe there's one down south.
there is. We should have quite a few very good Mexican restaurants here in the Whatcom and Skagit County area, and this is certainly one of them.
Yes.
Did you see the Got Margaritas t-shirts there?
Yeah. No, I don't, but I want one.
Now, this is a bit of an interesting entry. We don't normally let people in at the last minute, but this was such a great vehicle. We thought, you know what? We'll find a spot for him. This is the Toyota.
Toyota Ranger Kidwell Ross. He actually takes that out on the freeway.
Wow.
Yeah.
It must have a lot of things that are glued on there quite well, I would think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, after that is Shane Simpson's Martial Arts and Fitness. These are all students at the Martial Arts Center there.
They've been in Bellingham for 10 years, and their goal is to empower hearts, minds, and lives through the martial arts.
Well, you got kids that are doing backflips and all sorts of things.
Ooh, yeah.
This is the First Congregational Church of Bellingham entry, and they've got a great equestrian entry there with lots of folks in the congregation riding on that great, sort of like a cross between a wagon and a bus. Sort of like a horse-drawn trolley, I guess.
Looks like we have another award winner. Best decorated float.
This is our Mayor's Award winner. And it goes to the Deming Log Show entry. They actually have two entries here. This is the truck here at the beginning with the float portion, which they won the award for.
Celebrating its 50th annual show.
And that's their 2012 Bull of the Wood there.
I'm not arguing.
And that's followed by a logging truck itself with lots of kids riding up on top. And as it comes by, you'll see that the banner on the side has a list of all of the Bull of the Woods winners from the last 50 Deming Log shows. Another award winner. This is our entry from the Bellingham Railway Museum.
That is a great little place.
Isn't it, though?
Right downtown. A lot of people don't know about it. You should go if you haven't.
You really should. Actually, the new director came and spoke at my Rotary Club the other day. It was just fascinating, some of the things that they have there. But here's some electric rail cars and a handrail car behind it there on the trailer.
And following the Railway Museum, another marching band from the mountain. Mount Baker High School. The Mountaineers.
The Mountaineers have participated in every ski-to-sea parade since the 1940s.
Wow.
And they recently returned from a spring break tour of Southern California, where they performed at Knott's Berry Farm and at Disneyland. The only thing they're missing is some bagpipes.
Yeah.
That's our 2A third place winner for our bands this year, the Mount Baker High School Mountaineer Marching Band. And they're followed by our entry from Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza. The Pizza Chariot, hot and ready. And they've also been participating for quite some time in the Ski to Sea Parade.
Not only
17 years?
17 years in the Ski to Sea Parade, but they're also a very active participant in our junior parade too, which we haven't really mentioned today, but a lot of the entries you see are also involved in our junior parade, which happens the week before, right here on Cornwall Avenue in Bellingham.
It's just a great time of year to be a part of this community. So much going on. So many people contributing to make it a great couple of weeks.
Now our Costco wholesale shopping cart drill team.
They need to put like 12 gallons of milk
in each one of those.
Each one of those carts to make it a little more realistic.
This is our Saturna Capital Sister City Association entry. The float, of course, is a sauna from Finland in honor of our Finnish sister city, but you have folks who are representing each of our sister cities marching behind the float there.
How many do we have? How many sisters? How big is this
how
family?
Big, that's a big family. I think there's 5 or 6 now. I should know this. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to have to go and get this all set to memory.
Beautiful day in Bellingham, Whatcom County.
This is our big award winner, our Grand Sweepstakes Award winner for the most outstanding float from the Lummi Squamish Nation.
You see the dates there for the Squamish. June 14 through 17.
Boy, what a great job they've done on decorating that float, too. Next up is our Bellingham Central Lions Club.
And their wheelchair warehouse. They lend out medical equipment through their warehouse to help those in need. And they are able to do that through donations from the community. The Bellingham Lions Club.
The lion doesn't look entirely pleased back there. Probably a little warm. Because, you know, we've got lots of great sporting groups here in Bellingham. We saw the football team, the Bulldogs, a little while ago. This is the Bellingham Slam, which is our semi-pro basketball team here in Bellingham.
And they're currently in the middle of their 7th season. They started in 2005. They play 10 home games each season. And there we have the Red Raiders in front of their home turf, Bellingham High School.
Now I'm going to see, this is going to be a good trick for me because this was our big award winner for the bands. They won 5 different awards. And I'm going to see if I can't get through them all here.
Okay, number 1.
So they were the 3rd place award winner for the dance teams.
Okay. Number 2.
They were 1st place for cheer.
Number 3.
They were our 1st placed 2A band winner.
Number 4.
They had the best drum line of any of the bands in the parade.
Which we will see soon. And number 5.
And 5, they won the Ralph Polly Award, which goes to, it's sort of a military award. They actually have military folks who come on and judge the bands based on standing at attention, the uniforms that they're wearing, and they won because they were from a military perspective, the best outfitted, best trained band here at the 2012 Ski to Ski Grand Parade. They've recently returned from visiting Spokane, Washington, where they marched in the Torchlight Parade as part of the Spokane Lilac Festival. They are followed by our friends from Whatcom Warriors, which is an amateur ice hockey association here.
Should we tell them it's not
Not
the
real?
Stanley Cup?
Yeah, let them think it. Why not?
Oh, and the pride of Whatcom Community College, celebrating 45 years of building futures together.
The 71-acre campus here in Bellingham now has 7,800 students. That is just huge.
Enthusiastic
Students, right. And definitely the best use of blow-up animals.
There's a chicken on a bike.
The County Executive Award for the best themed float goes to Job's Daughters.
Bloom, Lead, Soar is the theme of this year's entry from Job's Daughters, Bethel 25 of Bellingham. The float is decked in the organization's traditional colors of purple and white and feature the honored queen and princesses in their royal capes and gowns.
This is a premier leadership organization for young women ages 10 to 20. This is the Whatcom County Search and Rescue entry, and that vehicle you see there in the front won for Best Law Enforcement Vehicle in the parade this year.
Of course, we always like to see these vehicles in the garage, not being used, but certainly like to know that they're there just in case, and the people behind them.
Well, and it's of course good to see all the different things that they do. You know, they have the water skis there for
Sure.
searches out on the lake or the ocean. Of course, the horse, because they certainly do have to get up on trails, as well as the quads there. In a rural recreational area like we have, there's lots and lots of different things that Search and Rescue has to be prepared to do, and they certainly are with our Whatcom Search and Rescue group, and we're pleased they joined us again this year. Now they're followed by two different fire districts. We have our friends from Fire District 4 and Fire District 7. Now Ferndale, I believe, is Fire District 7, and that's their antique fire truck. Now they did make a request this year before we get started that we look at maybe having them at the front of the parade next year so that their big ladder truck can maybe win for the best fire truck. So we may have to move folks around next year and give them a shot up front.
A little bit of fire truck ladder envy going on
You never
there.
know. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I guess you've seen we have lots of our entries from the different fire districts here in Whatcom County, and we're pleased that Fire District 7 comes and joins us here at the 2012 Ski to Sea Grand Parade as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is, for the last 15 years, the last entry in the Ski to Sea Parade, and sadly the last year that they will be in the Ski to Sea Parade. This is our Bellingham High School Alumni Band making their final performance.
They say we're just a good old-fashioned marching band. A lot of them went to that building right behind them. Bellingham High School.
And the drum major there, who frankly I think should have won Best Drum Major this year, former City Council member Barry Buchanan, who's led the band all 15 years.
Well, there you have the Bellingham High School Alumni Marching Band rounding out this 92nd annual Ski to Sea Grand Parade.
Absolutely, and we hope you've enjoyed watching it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Wonderful parade this year, lots of great marching bands, lots of wonderful entries, and the weather just outstanding
Couldn't
weather.
have been better. Nope.
If you're interested in joining us next year for the 93rd Parade, not in watching it, but in being in it, go to the front door of the community, bellingham.com. You can find out everything you need to be able to join us for the 93rd annual parade next year.
A lot of exposure for your organization and a lot of fun as well. We'd also like to thank the City of Bellingham and the Bellingham Whatcom Chamber of Commerce and Industry for doing all the work behind this parade. Thanks so much, Ken.
Well, it was our pleasure to bring it to you all, and we hope you've enjoyed watching it. Definitely tune in next year for the parade. We're going to be there to bring it to you, and I'm sure you're going to be there to watch it. Have a wonderful summer, and thank you so much for joining us.
We'll see you soon.